Hello and welcome to Mindful Monday. My name is Allison Knight and I am the health coach for Employee Health Center. Today we are going to do a mindfulness exercise called mindful eating, and we have done this exercise in the past, but we're going to go through another version of it today. Typically this exercise is done with raisins, which I have a container of here. But I have also done the exercise with an orange. I've also done it with a kiwi, typically something that kind of has a unique texture to it, an interesting smell to it, so that it can be an interesting thing to be mindful about. The exercise's point is for us to be able to break that doing mindset, to stop living on autopilot and just going through the motions that we do so often, and shift to that being mindset where we are aware and we are in the present moment and we're listening to our bodies. This can be an extremely beneficial exercise for your overall health as well as weight management, because when we are mindful and we're in the moment when we're eating, we're able to recognize, are we actually hungry? Or are we experiencing some other emotion or feeling, such as anger or depression or boredom, that is causing us to think that we're hungry even though we actually aren't? And further, it can help us cue ourselves when we have eaten enough. Very often we overeat because we're not listening to our bodies while we eat. And if we're being more mindful, we eat more slowly. Our brain can catch up with our stomach to tell us that we're full, and we're able to stop before we've eaten too much. So mindful eating is a good exercise for all of these things. So let's get started. So you can prepare for this exercise by choosing a special food to experience it with. Again, many people choose a raisin or a piece of chocolate, something that's delightful to you. First, take the food and hold it in between your pointer finger and your thumb. I'm just going to grab a little raisin for an example here. Bring attention to it. If it's a raisin, as if it were a novel item. Imagine that you've never seen this in your life before. Take time to observe the raisin carefully. Really see it. Gaze at it with care and with your full attention. Let your eyes explore every part of it, noticing its shape, its color, the surfaces. Examine the grooves and how the light shines and the shadows that are formed. Rotate and move the raisin between your fingers, continuing to explore its texture. Apply a small bit of pressure to notice whether it's soft or hard. You might close your eyes if that helps you to focus and really enhance that sense of touch. Recognizing this is a raisin, note any thoughts you might have had about raisins, any memories about them, any feelings of liking or disliking them. Now hold the raisin under your nose and inhale naturally. With each in-breath, notice any aroma or smell that arises. Bring awareness also to any effect in your mouth or your stomach, which again, depending on what item you've chosen, will probably be different. Now bring the raisin slowly up to your mouth, noticing how your hand and arm know exactly how and where to position it. Being aware if you are salivating as the mind and body anticipate eating. Then place the raisin gently in your mouth without yet chewing. Hold the raisin in your mouth for at least 10 seconds, exploring it with your tongue, feeling the sensations of having it there, feeling those grooves in the texture of the raisin or the food item itself. Notice this pause and how it feels to take some time before actually eating the food. When you are ready, prepare to chew the raisin. Take 1 or 2 bites into it and notice what happens. Bringing your full attention to its taste and its texture as you continue to slowly chew. Take time to chew without swallowing, noticing the taste and the texture of the raisin in your mouth and how the taste might change over time. When you feel ready to swallow the raisin, bring awareness to the sensation so that even this is experienced consciously. We're present and we're aware on the act of swallowing the food. Lastly, notice what is left of the raisin as you swallow and it travels down to your stomach. Notice how your whole body as a whole is feeling after completing this exercise. Now, take a few moments to write down or to think about your reflections on the following questions. How was this experience the same or different than how you normally eat? What, if anything, surprised you about the experience? What did you notice with the raisin or whatever food you choose in terms of sight, touch, smell, and taste? What thoughts or memory, if any, popped up while you were doing this exercise? What is one tip for yourself that you are going to take from this experience to apply to your eating habits in the future? Many people choose to use a special dish or plate and to find one meal that they can eat slowly and consciously. Taking a bite, putting the fork down for a moment, fully enjoying the sensations of the food as it is chewed and swallowed, and then taking another bite to have the full sensory experience and enjoyment of the food that we eat. So again, you can do this exercise with any type of food. I would challenge you to do the exercise at least once, and then like they suggested, how can you carry this exercise into your daily eating habits? Mindful eating can again help with your overall health. It can help with weight management. It can help with overall mindfulness because you're bringing your awareness to the experience. And nowadays, we pick things up and eat things in the car on the way to work. We work through lunch and eat at our desks while we type on our computer. We eat dinner in front of the TV, or we sit at the table and we're on our phones, and trying to put that all aside, focus solely on the meal, and if we're eating with our family or friends or loved ones, focusing on the company instead of focusing on all the craziness that's going on in the world, on the news, work, whatever, and simply enjoying and savoring that meal and that personal connection with those around you so that you can be healthier overall. Next week, we are going to be doing a mindful walking exercise. And I think I will be doing a brief run through, and I will also be posting the link in the description for a short audio clip that you can listen to yourself while you're actually walking from the Stop, Breathe, Think app, which is also now called My Life, I believe. So we will be going through that next week, bringing yet another mindfulness to an everyday activity that we do all of the time so that we can bring more awareness to the present moment and shift out of that autopilot doing mindset we are constantly in. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and we'll see you next time. I hope that you have a wonderful and mindful Monday.